What's really cool about today's event is that we have over 130 influential leaders from Australia's top organisations who are going to come and listen to Thea O'Connor, our keynote speaker, about leading your people through menopause.
I'm going to be really interested to see how the audience responds today. The room is full of senior leaders. Sometimes people get a bit nervous when we talk about this topic. Is it going to be too ick or is it going to get too personal? But I'm pretty confident that by the end of this session, people will feel that talking about menopause in the workplace is as normal as talking about any other health condition that a worker might need a few adjustments for.
The UK, you might be aware, is really leading in this field. And when the University of Leicester first launched their policy, that was about 4 years ago, what they did was they just got everyone to say the word menopause 3 times a day, just to get used to it. Yes, you're laughing nervously because that's what we're going to do right now. I want you to be able to walk out of here today and say the word without choking on your coffee and breakfast. Okay, so we're going to say menopause 3 times. And I don't want any lame little whispering and mumbling under your breath. No, I want you to imagine you're at the footy. Are you with me? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Menopause! 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 It's a goal. You are amazing. That was the best menopause I've ever heard.
Sometimes workplaces can feel a bit awkward talking about the topic of menopause, but we've really got to move beyond that because now with the current work health and safety legislation having a big focus on workplaces' legal responsibility to manage the psychosocial risk factors in the workplace, which can include things like lack of support or harassment, and jokes really are still the most common way that we talk about menopause in the workplace, leaders can't afford to ignore this life stage for any longer.
The reason why it's a really incredible topic that we're talking about is that it is a taboo subject. And women at midlife are going through all kinds of life changes right now. Menopause is just one of them.
So I think we need to raise more awareness of menopause in the workplace. It's a very taboo subject, and I know even just talking to people about coming to this event, it's caused a lot of coffee spluttering and people just being very uncomfortable talking about it.
Importantly, because our body forces us to, this is a time when we actually finally, really truly prioritise our own well-being instead of other people's. The body will accept no less. And do we not desperately need leaders who can model working sustainably with burnout? It's a top people-related risk in industries around the world.
I was really excited to be asked to participate in today's event. As a leader, we're in an incredibly privileged position, and I think it's fantastic that we lean into the conversations that might not necessarily take up part of day to day. And as part of that, as a leader, I want to play whatever role I can to supporting my team in such an important issue.
I think having some champions in the workplace, menopause champions, can also help influence these really important initiatives in creating a supportive culture and supportive practices.
Well, 50% of the workforce is going to be impacted by this, and it lasts for a long time with symptoms up to 4 years. So I think it's important to know how I can best support my team through that journey.
But this is where we encounter a problem, and that is that we're currently silent about the challenges, but also the rewards of menopause in workplaces. And this silence comes at a cost.
To be honest, I was a little bit nervous about being involved with the event, primarily because menopause is not talked about, and it's something that I've never really talked about to my team or indeed to anyone.
One thing I really feel strongly about with regards to menopause, not just in the workplace, but more generally, is that it's been really misrepresented. When people think menopause, all they think of is that whole list of horrible, scary-looking symptoms. And we fail to offer the bigger picture perspective, which says, yes, it can be challenging, the transition, but this is a really important passage that can take people and take women deeper into their authority than ever before.
Supporting your team, your business, your employees through menopause is just as important as any part of diversity, equity and inclusion. Most important thing is to support and include every single person in your workforce?
I think the main thing as a result of today is to really open up the conversation. I think so many people are suffering in silence, and I think it's really important for leaders to lead top down. And so more conversation with my leadership team and more encouragement around support, empathy and tools so our employees can be the best they can be in the workplace.
So the one thing that I will implement is really just to have more honest and open conversations. I think there's certain things that you sort of shy away from because you think might be awkward for the other person, or might make you feel awkward. But really this is stuff that we all go through, or at least the women do.
The one thing that really struck me was the stat about 10% of women experiencing menopause leaving the workforce, and what the impact that has on senior leadership for women in particular.
At Parity, we're not just recruiters. We love what we do and it shows in our results. We spend 10% of the profits year on year into community events such as this. It's called our Parity Plus initiative, and we've spent over $1 million back into the community over the last 10 years.